everyone, this is Raul and welcome to my very first vlog, how do you call that, vlog with a V. And today we're gonna do something that I've been doing for the past few days during this ECQ, and I've been doing a lot of gardening. So I've been watching on YouTube how do you call that, multiply your plants, right, save on cost. So I kind of like doing the trimmings and then planting it in a new soil and have multiple plants. And actually, you save a lot of money since you can't get out anyway, right? To buy yourself some plants. So let's start with one of my favorite plants. That will be the Bougainvillea. It's this one. Alright, so beautiful. Now it comes with like a lot of different colors. You have the white bougainvilleas, the pink ones, we have the magenta, we also have a lot of other colors except that. Alright, so let's start. First we need tools, just like in training, right? It all starts with preparation. Okay, so first we need to locate a plant. Alright, you can go in the neighborhood, look for a beautiful plant like this one, right? And of course you need cutting tools. You need to cut these plants so you can cut a branch and replant it. Well, that's the idea. Alright, so how do we cut branches of plants? Alright, so here are our tools. If it's just a small branch, you can use this, a handy scissor. If it's a bigger branch, you can use this. This is basically a scissor for metal sheets, right? And since I do not have pruning scissors or pruning shears, we can use this. Alright, if it's super difficult to cut plants, well, we can probably use one of these, right? This is a rotor razor. You can plug it in and it works. Now for super duper heavy duty plants, we can use one of these. Yeah? Alright. Okay. Now to protect ourselves, of course, when you're doing DIYs, right, do yourself jobs, whether it's carpentry or auto mechanic, right, you need to always protect yourself. So let's start with gloves. You always need to wear gloves. Alright, so I'll be wearing mine. These are like specific for gardening. Right? It protects your fingers, your hands, especially with bougainvilleas. Right? These are like thorny plants. See those thorns? Yeah? Alright, so make sure you protect your hands with gloves. Now these are like special gardening gloves. Special because it has claws. Yeah, like Black Panther's claws. Wow. Alright. You need to wear shades, right? Protective equipment to protect your eyes, because you'll never know, right? Just like when you're doing handyman jobs, like woodworking or just anything. Always wear protection for your eyes. You can't afford to get hurt, especially this quarantine season, right? You do not want to go to a hospital. Alright, you might contract those viruses. Alright, so what else do we need? Alright, so those are for the tools for cutting branches. Alright, so in preparation, we also need some soil, right? We'll flash a picture of that soil later, right? For growing the cut branches, we will need growth hormones or rooting hormones. Now, you can buy one of these. You can buy this from any garden supply, right? These are like rooting hormones. But since you can't get out, or if you're going to order from Shopee or Lazada or any of those online shopping, it might take like weeks before you get to receive them. So if you have, let's say, cinnamon powder, right? In your house, you can use this. Actually, a lot of videos shows using cinnamon instead of these ones. Okay? So let's start. We have all the protective equipment. Oops. Yeah, one more thing. You need to have a cell phone with you, right? Since we're doing gardening, make sure it's an Apple. Yeah? Sounds better anyway. Alright, and then let's play some music. Always play music, right? It makes any job easier. So let's remove one of these gloves. There you go. Now we have a background music, and my personal choice, of course, or since we're doing gardening, we are playing Kundiman songs. Alright, which is very appropriate for what we're doing right now. Okay. And of course, just to be ready, let's put this gloves back on. The most important tool or equipment that you need before you start is, of course, to set the mood, you need to have your own hat, right? This is my personal gardening hat, right? Just like when I'm doing training, you wear your trainer's hat, right? When you're when you're selling, you have your seller's hat. Now, since I'm doing gardening, I'll be wearing my gardening hat. There you go. Oops. It's not comfortable. Alright. There you go. Looks good? Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Let's clear this table first. Alright. So first let's start with cutting the branch. Of course, as soon as you have this cut from a tree, right, make sure you dip it in water to make sure it preserves the freshness, and then get rid of the leaves. You don't need those leaves. I've been asking, I've been doing some research on why the leaves needs to be cut off when you're doing this type of planting. Well, from my research, it says it's to prevent the plant from growing new leaves and concentrate on just growing new roots. Which makes sense, right? So we get rid of these leaves. We can leave the thorns. Another pointer, when you're choosing a branch to cut, make sure that it's a matured one, right? Not the small ones, right? You need to have like matured branches. So let's start cutting. You need about 4 to 6 inches in length, right? You can do 8 or 10. Yeah, you can also do that, but not too long, right? I'd probably say 10 inches would be the maximum. Alright, so let's cut this one. When you're cutting, right, I think I do about 5-6 inches, right? These are the nodes. Make sure you cut right beneath it, right, at a 45-degree angle. There you go. That's about 45 degrees. It's not exact, but you can do an estimate. Alright, that's one. Alright, so here we go, here we are. These are our new cuttings. Alright, you guys see that? Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's first prepare our pot. Now in some videos, right, they show you how to make a potting mix. Normally they use a bit of sand, some soil, some compost, right? But I don't have time, and there's no way I can find sand. Most of the hardware shops or hardware stores nowadays are kind of closed. It's a good thing I do have a stock of loam soil. I bought this probably a week before the lockdown started. So I have a few bags of this. Now this is almost complete. It has cocoa peats, right? It has the garden soil, organic fertilizer, carbonized rice hull, and a compost. So technically, if you want to save on time, right, and the effort, right, I don't think you can buy like a few kilos of sand anyway, right? You need to buy like a whole bag. So technically, this is more convenient, especially when you're gardening and you just focus on the plant, right, and not mix. But if you're going to be doing a lot, then I would suggest, yeah, make your own. Alright, but for today, we're not gonna do that. So, since I can't go out and buy some pots, let's use a container. My favorite is always an ice cream container, right? Not only because you can enjoy the ice cream, right? But you can also use the container as homemade pots. Alright, now for these types of plants, right? These plants does not really it doesn't need to retain a lot of water. So you need to have your soil just about wet when you water them, right? But the water needs not to stay in the pot. So there are like two types of pots. If you've been in a garden store, right? There are pots who have like holes on this side. Those are for plants that needs water retention. But for these types of plants, like Bougainvillea plants or Bougainvillea plants, right? The water needs to, well, it should not remain on the bottom. So make sure you drill a hole, right, at the bottom, right? Or if you have pots, make sure that these are the pots that has, well, holes in the bottom, not on the side. Got it? All right. So let's start by, oh, how I made those holes? I use my vice grip with a concrete nail, right, and then just punch a hole underneath. I also put some holes on the side. I kind of like doing some holes. Alright, let's start. Let's fill this up with our garden soil. There you go. So when you're putting soil in your pot, make sure that you do not fill it up to the brim, right? Make sure you leave about an inch so that when you water them, the soil, some of the, especially the husk, will not overflow, right? Okay. Let me wear my gloves again. Alright. There goes your work. Now, before we put this in, right, normally it needs about 1-2 inches deep. You need to put it in just like that, right? 2 inches deep would be sufficient. But before you do that, you need to apply some rooting hormones. Right? When we say rooting hormones, these will like help the plant focus on just growing new roots. Yeah? Alright. So in some videos, they dip it in a rooting hormone formula, or they just cover it with cinnamon. Now this cinnamon, right, we're not gonna use it in the kitchen anymore. Yeah? So this is gonna be dedicated for my planting. Alright. So some would just dip it, put it up, and then put it in. In some videos, they well, dig a hole like that one. On this part, we're going to be using 2. We're going to be planting 2, right? So they just dig a hole and then spread some cinnamon. So what we're going to do, we're going to do both. Right? Since I have cinnamon and I have the formula anyway, so might as well use them both. So I kind of dig the hole. Yeah. And then we're gonna sprinkle some cinnamon. Probably do a couple of pinches for each hole. I love cinnamon. I love the smell of it. Alright, so let's go open this formula. I haven't tried this brand yet, but let's go ahead and use it. I hope it works. Of course, every time you're using a bottle formula, anything at all, right? Make sure you shake them first before you use it. Right? We don't know how long it has been in stock, so just mix it a bit by shaking it gently. Yeah, really gently. So let's do those gloves back on. All right. Let's use a mature one. This one. Alright, so we have our clay pot ready. There you go. And then just dip it a bit. There you go. It's pretty stable. Now we're going to add some more soil. Right, so we're done potting the cuttings. Yeah, the Bougainvillea cuttings. Alright, so we're gonna water it a bit. To place it in a place where there's no direct sunlight, right? Probably in a shade while we're growing it. This normally takes about 1 or 2 to 3 weeks for the roots to grow, and then we're gonna replant it to a bigger, more permanent pot. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you click on the like button and the subscribe button, right? So you can follow up with me. Right? In 2 weeks time, we're gonna check if it works. This is the first time I did this. Well, how do you call that? How do you call that again? When they cut the leaves. Yeah. Anyway, this is the first time I ever did this kind of gardening technique. So I hope it works. So check back on me after 2 weeks. All right. So for now, bye.